Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are joined here today by Zanzarah, jungler for Team Astralis. Hi, man. How are you doing?
Hello. Everything's good. How are you?
Pretty fine, thank you. So, let's start with the interview with a brief history lesson for all the people watching us from home. Even though you are very young, 24 years old, you have a long competitive career started in CIS. In which you've obtained very good results with the Vega Squadron, if I remember correctly, in 2017. Then you moved to EU and you played both with Origin Barcelona and you had a spot in the main roster for a while and then moved to Ego Rogue and now with Astralis. I want to talk with you about this change. How was to move from CIS to EU and how was to move from the ERL to the main roster and a starting position in team in LEC?
Yeah, first of all, I think 24 years old is not that young, okay? In League of Legends. Let's start.
All
Okay,
right.
kind of like already pretty old, man. Yeah, but I think the main thing what kind of move was like in my head to move from CIS to ARL. I was more about like trying to learn something more because in CIS I felt like
Yeah.
I achieved a lot. Even though like I didn't win like at tournaments, right? Didn't like wasn't on the worlds, but I feel like it's just like not enough good players to make a second team who can compete with first one. And for me, I didn't want to like back then be just like a coach player, right? Just to like
All
teach
right.
people because I want to be like higher, just play on a higher level and just kind of learn. This is why I decided to move to RL. There is like more competition, more experienced players who can share their experience with me. And kind of same happened when I moved from Origin BCN to main team. And after that, I think this like was the main point when I was playing for like 2-3 weeks with the main team. I realized what is the insane difference between ERL and LEC level, and I was like just starting like I will do everything what it's possible to get on this level.
Which is nice to hear. I mean, you are on top of your learning process basically right now. So the experience with Astralis is something really new for you. You are on the main roster as a starting jungler, and we are in a meta where the jungle basically is always up tempo. You have to keep up with the farm. You have to gank a lot. You have to put a lot of pressure on the lanes. Right now in this up tempo meta in jungle, how do you feel being the main jungler? It puts some pressures on you, or do you feel like a challenge and it motivates you?
Um, I kind yeah, I mean, I feel challenged because it's not really like my comfort zone. My comfort zone was like always a control, gain oriented play style, and right now it's more like farm efficiency and being like more like scale type of thing, I guess. So it's not my comfort zone. This is why I kind of like this meta more in terms of like I still have like drive to like play solo queue, like
Yeah.
play competitive just because I need to learn a lot and I can feel it. Of course, I'm not like level of like Yankos or self-made or inspired, but this is what drive me, but I don't think I'm like super hard behind, so I think like I'm kind of like decent for LEC, maybe like top 5 top 6 jungler in terms of like how efficient I use my resources and the resources of the team. And overall I feel like pretty confident, but it's still there is like a lot of learn, of course.
Well, seeing that you have a very clear idea about the general level in EU, I want to talk more about Astralis as a project. You started in Origin BCN. We talked about the position in the main roster for a while, and then Origin had a very, let's call it, unlucky year, and they decided to reset and go back to Astralis and bring up this new roster. How do you feel inside this new roster? I mean, their communication between the coaching staff and the team, between teammates, the goal for the split and the upcoming splits. So, what are the general feeling behind Astralis, and what is the goal of Astralis as an organization inside the LEC?
I mean, of course, I think as organization, Astralis want to be on the top. of course. But I think after this unsuccessful year, we've like really highlight players on every position, you know, and just being like 10th place, they try to just kind of like reboot the whole system and give more spots for rookie. We can call it like that. For as me, White Knight, and our bot lane, we didn't shine like insanely, I think, anywhere else, you know, but we were like always on a good level. And also like our coaching staff, it's new guys, Audi and Hansen. They weren't LEC before, so kind Astralis just trust us to build the build the team what we think is good, you know.
All right.
And we think, I mean, of course, like it didn't start that well this season for us for now, but I think the main difference between other teams for now in like inside of, we have like pretty good structure and we know what we're doing. We don't really care about like win or lose, I think, in terms of weeks. We care about like our progress overall. Do we like show something, or it was like didn't change much between the weeks? So I think Astralis kind of flipped the coin with the like signing players like us, right? But we are not that like don't know what to do in this situation. So we have a plan for sure, and we're just trying to like do our best, of course.
This is something I'm really glad to hear because I mean, LEC has been all about improving, seeing teams like Rogue, Excel, and Vitality with the new roster, basically all a rookie lineup. Pointing to the growing up of the team and not to the immediately getting results, I think it's something really good overall. So you talked about the rookies on Astralis, but I want to talk more about the rookies in the whole split because this year we have seen a lot of your former teammates you had in Ego Rogue, like Shigenda, Checkled, and Trimby, and they are all in different teams. So, how do you feel basically having to face each week one of your former teammates?
Yeah, I am always exciting because we still have like good relationships and we're talking like on Facebook between each other. So yeah, I mean always exciting. We like making jokes around like on Twitter, like on DMs between the games in the game. So yeah, I feel pretty good, and of course I think like every one of them like deserve the LEC spot by far because I think last year Ego Rock was by far the best ERL team, like 2 levels higher than anyone else. So of course, like every player of that team deserved to be in LEC.
This is really nice, man. I wanted to thank you for this interview. I wish you the best of luck for the upcoming games, and I hope to see you again here.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you too again.
Bye.